Hello, this is Shantae with Brown Sugar Talks Under Black Unicorns. So today I was just like, I have to record this right away. It's Thirsty Thursday, and because I be so curious. Like, I'll just be like, the curiosity is just, I don't know, like maybe I'm in the wrong field. I have no clue. But either way, let me tell y'all what I'm curious about. So I always have, sometimes I have these people, these guys who start asking me about them and their wife problems, right? Now, this is a thing. When I've had guy friends. So when I have guy friends, if I date somebody and I call in with the problem of this guy, when I'm calling complaining like, hey, I've only done it a couple of times because this is what they do. They be like, no, don't talk to me. You got to talk to him. This is what talked to me early. Like, we did this in college. Like, so even in college, okay, because that's when I got these guy friends. If I called and said, Booba Bird, he didn't do this, and he didn't treat me right, and he didn't do this. Oh, so, but you still gonna see him? Yes. Okay, well, call and talk to him. Do you like him? Do you care about it? Okay, call and talk to him about it. Don't call me and tell me about that. And that's my friend, like my best friend, is telling me, don't call and tell me, and not in a rude way. Shantae, you need to tell him about that. Don't tell me you and his problems, okay? Because they would see him differently. You understand? Like, it'd be like, okay, they'll see him different. Now, if we broke up and I'm done with his ass, okay, I can sit down and have my whole pity party. I could cry, whatever. But still, again, never do we. I don't even talk about them after that. So it's like they actually just put it in, like, I don't know if it's a good or bad thing, but for me, I guess it was a good thing for me because I felt like I just got this person out of my system. Never after I've had a friend pity party did I have to ever talk about that dude again. Because it's not even a pity party. What would happen is we would sit there, put our feet up on the couch, watch TV, talk, sit in silence, and watch messed up movies and eat, and just like, and I mean, be locked in the house for like 3 days, just being us. And it would be just like, my friend would just be there when I needed somebody to talk to, not to like, it wasn't no rubbing and tugging and kissing and all. No, it was just like a friend, like for real, like a girlfriend. Like, I mean, I don't know, people can, a lot of guys are like, no, you can't have a friend like that and we're together. It's like, well, I mean, it was just a dope situation. Like, that's just how we connected, you know, like that was my friend. So now let's get back to this part. I do have friends that are married men. I do not, and their wives are okay with that. Like, this is a situation where the wife was okay, because now I don't think I have that anymore, but I have associates. Like, and I can't even say they my best friends no more because they married. So I don't consider myself a best friend to these people anymore because they're married. They have a wife. They have somebody else that they talk to. And never have these best friends, or these so-called used to be best friends, call me and be like, my wife does this or my wife does that. They don't ever do that because I wouldn't allow it either. I wouldn't allow that to happen because that's not something that needs to happen between friends. That's not something that needs to go on between us. Those conversations don't need to be had because those are their households. They've been their wife 10, 15, 20 years. I mean, for real, longer than, you know, or even if it's a short span of time, they share intimate things with them that they have never shared with me. So then, therefore, I don't feel right trying to be like, oh, or be up in their business. And I even had one friend, I liked him, couldn't stand his wife because I liked him. That's when she was his girlfriend. So I liked him, couldn't stand her ass. And then after that, I was like, what the hell? Like, and then I really couldn't stand her because I had somebody else in my ear. I had my so-called friend in my ear telling me that she's this and look at this. And I'm over there too. Yeah, look at her, you know. And it's like, no, that wasn't right. So as I got older, I'm just like, no, she's a beautiful person, beautiful spirit. And if she was made for him, not me. I wasn't the girl for him, because if that was the choice, he would have made sure that I was his choice. His wife is the woman for him because that's the one that he married. So it's just like, when you get grown and start coming to realizations and just knowing that ain't what you need, because sometimes we'll be with a friend, just that's our friend and we in love with them, and that was the situation. But but also I knew that he wasn't the man for me. Like, it's like if we would have ended up together, we would have ended up just going. I mean, I wouldn't be able to trust him, and that's because I knew him on a different level than she knew him. So it's just, that's a whole different thing too. And I don't know. Anyway, so now let's get back to the point where I've been in situations where married men will start talking about what they not get from their wife, and for me, I don't say anything. I just stay on the wife's side. I can't, cause she's not there. Cause a man to say anything, you know, and all of us been through that situation where you been with somebody. We've been through all of them, where you know he married and you still flirt with him, where you know he married, you ain't flirting with him, where you was with him and then all of a sudden he come and tell you he married, like just crazy shit. And that's the stuff where you just like, okay, cause this motherfucker will tell me anything. And so, and even not that, maybe the person just really is kind of like looking for like advice, like how do I, or just wanting to vent. And it's like, okay, well, go ahead and vent, but at the end of the day, all I'm gonna say is, hey, you know, talk to her or talk to him, because me, I'm not about to. That's just like brother and sister. That's just like family. That's like you coming between family when you trying to put your 2 cents in somebody else's business. And then the other thing is, you start to, if you really start listening to their bullshit, you start to sympathize or empathize with their ass. You can't do that, because that's how they start getting you. Let's go out to lunch one day, let's go out to dinner, and then you just end up in a situation with somebody married. Nope. And I'm not even gonna say that. You gonna put yourself in this situation with somebody married. Because I refuse, motherfucker. I refuse. I am not about to be with somebody else's man. I want my own man, like my own shit. And I'm saying this, and I don't know. And the reason why that's why I'm curious, because I don't know what the person's intentions ever are. I don't get it. You know, I had one man just start telling me about him and his wife. They don't have enough sex. I don't know. What can I do about that? I am not Dr. Sharon. I don't know. I have no clue, because I've never been in that situation. I've never been in that situation where I have been in a situation where I don't have enough sex with my partner, but I just broke up with him because I wasn't married to him. But when you marry, that's like some vows, and you got to go through you have to go through the vows. You got to go through the situations. And so when people come at me like that, I be thinking, y'all don't need to be married, because, or you got to talk to somebody. I don't even want to go straight to y'all don't need to be married because you got married because you want to stick it out. And I think that's the beautiful thing about being married or decided that you want to be with somebody, is that you stayed around. You telling me that you're going to stay around and stick this shit out. That's what you're saying. You saying that through this 6th year of me working really hard and my libido changing and my age changing and all this different stuff, you gonna stick it out with me because I'm not having enough sex with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you not gonna cheat on me. You just gonna stick this out with me until I get through what I gotta get through. That's what I'm thinking in. Like, you know, marriage is okay, this is my friend, and now I understand. This marriage is, okay, you the motherfucker that hurt me, but now we gonna sit on this couch for 3 days, eat chips, watch TV, talk in silence, sit in, whatever we gotta do so we get back to on the track that we get to. That's the only advice I can give somebody. But then people who you talking to, the people who need the advice, they come up with excuses. Well, she ain't this and he ain't that and this, and you just like, wait a minute, hold up. See, you ain't trying to fix the shit. You trying to get out of the shit. You trying to find another solution to your bullshit, and that's not gonna work. Finding another solution to your bullshit is not going to work. The solution is with the partner that you chose to be with. That's why you chose to be with them, because they understand it and they can talk to you and y'all can, you know, get things done. But if that's not the case, then you need to find a way to leave. Like, y'all need to sit down and either way, you still have to have a conversation with that person. Whether it be this year or next year after you get your shit and get out. Either way, you still got to have a conversation with that person, because you actually sat down, you actually went to an altar and made vows with this person. And if you don't have a conversation, you don't know how they feel and you don't know where they coming from. If you can't tell somebody that you need them to go the extra mile for you, after you done went the extra mile for them, then guess what? Y'all don't need something wrong. Something going on with that other person because they not thinking about you. Do they have the same thing that you have in order for them to be able to do that? And sometimes, guess what? It might not be. So that is the biggest problem. It's just like, how do you as a couple, just start to, I don't know. I don't know what people do. I don't know what they do, and I don't know why men seek other information from women. And it'll be different, like if we were friends before, and then it was like, okay, well, yeah, you know, or even then, I don't think I would still feel comfortable being in somebody else's marriage, especially my friends, because I don't want the woman to come back and say to me, Shantae, why did you tell him that? And, you know, I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be a part of none of that shit. But, let's say, I mean, and then I don't know. What I'm saying is, sometimes you got to seek the advice in your home. You have to sit down and be able to talk to the person. You got to be able to use that finesse. Now, I can tell you how to finesse, and that's the whole thing, too. It's like, you have to be understanding of your woman. So, if you understanding of her, you have to actually have that full conversation. Have a full understanding with her. Let her get out everything. Have her feel pretty. All that stuff. Feel loved, honored, cherished. And then, baby, why you don't go and do the things that I do for you? Why you can't do those things for me? That's when you gonna get that honest answer from her, because she comfortable and she in that position where she like, okay, I can tell you how I feel right now. You can't get upset in that position, right? Because when she tell you the truth, you can't already be like, oh man, you know, ready to go at her. You gotta listen to what she about to tell you. Then find some kind of understanding about what she's saying. And I mean, don't just do it just based on game. Do it based on the fact that that's what you want from her. Like, you want that understanding from her too. So then, okay, well, let me give you some understanding. Let me show you how I understand. So then, when it's your turn to be honest with her, she'll show you back the same thing. She'll emulate that same thing back to you, right? Because that's your partner. You chose her because she's the reflection of who you are. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, I am not a marriage counselor, but I am a person that can be like, okay, wait a minute. This is what you have to do. You got to use a little bit of finesse. You have to. And it's not a bad thing to have some finesse in your pocket. And finesse, the best finesse, though, is that real shit. That shit that comes from love. Now, if you don't have any good examples of that, I want you to look at Kirk Franklin and Tamala Mann. Okay? So I'm saying Kirk Franklin because in that situation, he's a popular partner. I don't know his wife's name, but I follow her too. And then you want to look at Tamala Mann, and you know her husband. What happens is they gas each other up with real love. You can tell it ain't fake. It's not false, because it's real. Like, that's how you get to that. That's what you want. When you married, that's what you want. You want that real stuff. That stuff that just be like, ooh, it's so good. For her birthday, this woman be looking good. Tamala Mann, I don't know, I think they might have said she lost weight. I don't know what happened. But either way, always beautiful. For real. Every time I see her, she glowing. Why? Because she happy. Because she got a partner where she can be herself. And he make fun of her. And she talk about him. And, you know, and they work good together. That's what you want. You want that gel. That's what you want, but that gel didn't come overnight. Now, and I'm pretty sure they'll take the same thing. This didn't happen overnight. Sometimes we had disagreements. Sometimes we fought. Sometimes we looked at each other crazy. Sometimes we just want to love each other. Sometimes he wanted something I didn't want. Sometimes she wanted something I didn't want. But they did it together. At the end of the day, in order for them to get there, they had to communicate and do it together. So, and I'm just on the outside looking in. I really don't know what happened, but I'm just saying that's usually how it works. You got to have that gel, and if you don't have the gel, baby, it ain't gonna stick together. You just temporarily put some shit together. No, you're gonna need to permanently move into that permanent state. That's that love state where you really do love that person. You honor them, and the one way you honor them is by keeping your business at your house. Like, you can't. And what I'm saying is about this is, if the person not doing what they need to do and taking care of you how they need to be taking care of you, then what's your next step? Because if you're not being satisfied fully, and you're not able to figure out how to get satisfied